NASA's Communications Services Project will use commercially provided satellite communications capabilities for NASA missions. The goal being to eventually phase out dependency on NASA-owned and operated communication systems. Eli Naffah is Communication Services Program Formulation Manager at NASA. Eli, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mimi. I appreciate you having me.
So where did the idea of the Communication Services Program come from, and what's its purpose?
The Communication Services Program was formed officially in 2020. We've been working at NASA for the last 7 years looking at commercial solutions for space communications. And we officially started formulating the program in 2020. And the reason behind that is, the TDRS fleet we launched the last, don't want to talk in acronyms, tracking and data relay satellite. We have a system of geosynchronous satellites that orbit the Earth and provide continuous communications for space station and other missions at NASA. And we launched the last one in the 2017 timeframe. And so eventually the capability for the TDRS constellation will begin to decline. And we needed to make a decision whether we were going to continue with the government-owned and operated systems or go with commercial systems. Based on the studies that we've done, we believe that industry is ready and capable to provide those services to us commercially. And so the Communication Services Program was formed to investigate that, to demonstrate the feasibility of that, and to develop an acquisition strategy for buying those services in the future.
Eli, do you know that this is going to be more cost effective than NASA having full ownership?
We don't know for a fact. That's part of what we're doing now. We're about to award a number of demonstrations that will look at the operational constructs, the acquisition models, and the costs associated with providing commercial services. Currently, for the relay in particular, for Spacecom, we can't go out and buy those services today commercially, where we would be one of many buyers. So what we feel is we need to stimulate the market, work with industry, partner with them to develop that market and capability. And then once that's done, we believe that the costs will come down for NASA. And there's a lot of infrastructure that NASA has to maintain. So getting out of the business of maintaining the infrastructure where industry can do it, and then leveraging the innovation that's out there with industry, I think will benefit NASA greatly and allow us to focus on science and exploration.
I wanted to ask you about infrastructure, because how would it work for these satellites to be commercially operated instead of being operated by NASA? Will there be interoperability problems?
Interoperability is a concern for NASA. It really boils down to reliability of service and flexibility, especially for long duration missions. In particular, some of our missions tend to go up to 15 years. And so you don't typically have a service contract for 15 years of services. And so the ability to switch or like in the cell phone industry, roam between service providers is definitely desirable. At this point, I think what we want to do is just determine what services can be available, what we can go out and purchase, how much that's going to cost. Once we've created a market, I think industry will work to develop interoperability, because it'll be in their interest to be able to provide that type of flexible service, just as it was in the cell phone industry. So yeah, it's a concern, but at this point, I think we're taking the first steps are really to establish the market.
So how do you work with private companies? Are they involved from the beginning in the requirements phase? Do they work with you on that?
Yeah, we've been working with industry for a number of years. We recently had in 2019 timeframe, we had a broad area announcement, and we actually worked with 8 different industry teams to look at how they would do commercial services. And so we're going to be working with them. We'll be awarding some agreements here in the next couple months to work directly with them, basically to look at what it takes to do end-to-end operational service. And so they'll be developing it from the beginning all the way to the end. The interesting aspect of it is what we're doing is we're asking them to tell us what they would like to provide based on their interests and capabilities. We're providing references of what services we're currently providing to our missions today so that they can benchmark that. And those are similar to any other space-based user. So industry's taking that and they're looking at what their capabilities are and what their business interests are and coming back and telling us this is how they want to do it. So we would expect that they would do things a little differently than we will. And that's a good thing. And then once we determine what those operational constructs will be, we'll be working with our missions to make sure that it's compatible with our missions and that the operations concepts and operational paradigms that we have for our missions are able to adapt to the commercial services.
All right. Well, Eli, thank you so much for being on the program. Nice to have you.
Okay, Mimi. It's a pleasure. Have a good day.